Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those who are here in my office at Temple Beth Am. Good morning to those who are joining on Zoom. Good morning to those who are watching on Facebook. And hello to anyone who's listening to this on the Temple Beth Am podcast series. The nugget of Torah that I want to share is kind of a preview of the teaching I'm going to do tomorrow. For the second week in a row, I'm holding down the teaching session in Pilchal. It's a wonderful challenge every year to extract personally meaningful Torah from Parshat Pekudei, and I say that only with a touch of sarcasm, right? It's not easy, but then when you realize that there's stuff there too, it's actually more satisfying. So the Torah we're going to linger on tomorrow morning has to do with a Hasidic take on a classic midrash on a wonderful oddity of Parshat Pekudei, where the Torah says that for the first time in Jewish history, and probably the last, a fundraising campaign exceeded its goal. Has never happened since. That all the Israelites were asked to bring of their precious thing to help build the Mishkan, and the Torah says Vehoter, more was brought. They kept bringing, even though they had reached their, I imagine like that ancient fundraising thermometer in the desert. It kept going up and up, and it burst through the top. And there's a midrash that has Moses coming to God saying, "What should I do with all this extra?" And the midrash has God saying three words: Aseh mehen mikdash, or Aseh mehen mishkan. I forgot which one it is. Make of them a sanctuary. That's sort of an odd response, because the whole point is that Moshe is saying, we have enough for a sanctuary. So what am I supposed to do with the extra? And God's response is, make a sanctuary of that too. So there's a Hasidic commentary called the Shem Mishmuel, written by Rabbi Shmuel Bornstein. He's quoting one of his teachers, Rabbi Simcha Bonam Pshischa, who says what's going on here is that when you've given everything you thought you had to give, and then you give more, there's great sanctity there. You ever try to hold your breath a long time? Right? You pull in the air, and then you feel like you've pulled it in as much as you can, and then you're somehow still able to get one more breath of oxygen in. And if you're trying to hold your breath for a period of time, you've reached a limit. There's somehow space beyond that limit. I didn't think I was going to go in this direction, but since I'm there, David Blaine, the magician and wonder worker, I mean, he's trained himself how to hold his breath for 8 or 9 minutes. And he talked about, as he was going through training, like reaching his limit and then saying, is there another room? Is there another room beyond that limit? And so what I think what the Hasidic teaching is doing from this text is, when you've reached your limit, is there something beyond there that has beauty and potential, and what can you build with it? And in reverse, sometimes it's frustrating when you need something from someone and they're at their capacity. And the question is, can we find the sanctuary, or make the sanctuary that is built from the things that are beyond other people's limits? They don't have the goods to give anymore. They're out. But maybe there's something there that I didn't even realize they were able to contribute, from which a holy temple can be built. So we're going to go into more of that tomorrow. But that is the piece of Torah that is going to inform the single idea within that I'm going to ask us to meditate on. I invite you to all close your eyes. And just come to a great sense of presence. Sometimes we can be present and also absent. See if you can work yourself into a presence that's very present. The only place you are right now is here. The only moment you are in right now is now. See your mind dispatching, dismissing all the extras, all the worries, and the to-do lists, and the anticipation and the anxiety. Imagine those thoughts are an enormous collection of balloons. One by one, you just let them go into the air, so that you're only holding on to one. And that one balloon is just this moment. Anytime you notice that another balloon has come into your hand, representing a thought or a plan, you can look at it for a second and let it go. Try to see yourself holding on to the balloon, and only the balloon, that represents now and this and present presence. Pay attention to the rise and the fall of your chest, the tremendous mystery and majesty of your breathing. If you have a physiological mind, you can watch the oxygen coming in, the blood grabbing it from your lungs, the intricate system down to the minor capillaries that take it to every hungry cell, lightning quick, and then knowing just what to get rid of, over and over again. You hold that single balloon. Perhaps you can see written on it 2 words: poised rest. Poised rest. In this moment, you are very much at rest, very much in ease, very focused, very present, very poised. Think about your leftovers. The stuff you offer when you have nothing left to give. About others' leftovers. That which you get from them when they have reached their limit. Aseh mehen mishkan. Make a sanctuary of that. Make holiness of that. Back to looking at that balloon. Independent of how many other balloons have come and gone in the last few minutes. You see yourself standing there. In isolation. Holding on. And on the balloon is written, my offering, when I have nothing left to give. Nothing left to give. And this is my offering. And towards the surface, towards a different kind of presence, but trying also not to lose that sense of present presence as you make a transition to the rest of the day. We'll say the closing meditation prayer 3 times together. May we and all beings have happiness in the cause of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the cause of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the cause of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the cause of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the cause of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the cause of suffering. May we live in true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. Wish you all shalom, namaste, Shabbat shalom. Have a good one.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.